Honorable colleagues, we have a motion coming from Honorable Abubakar Baba Zango, Honorable Amobi Ogah, and 6 others. If Honorable Amobi is here, please can you rise and move your motion?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The People's Speaker, a good man and a unifier. My name remains Honorable Amobi Ogah. I represent Nigerians through the good people of Isukwato and Umunnochi Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Abia State. Mr. Speaker, I rise this morning to seek the leave of the House to come under Order 8 through 5 to move a motion on a matter of urgent public importance, the need to translate commitment to action to end TB by 2030. I so move, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Any seconder to the first leg? Yes, Honorable.
Thank you very much, my dear Speaker. My name is Honorable Paul Ekpo. I represent the people of Etinan, Uset Ibom, and Uset Ubiom. I am from Akwa Ibom State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I rise this morning to second the motion as ably moved by my dear brother. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. There is have it. The second leg of the motion. No, I would want to identify a labor man to second for obvious reasons. Not a former. No, not a former. Honorable Mark.
Very proud Labour man. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Mark Chidi Obeta. I'm the member representing Nsukka Igbezi South Federal Constituency. I'm from Enugu, proudly Labour. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the second leg of that motion, ably moved by our Labour man, Honorable Amobi Ogah. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. There is have it. Labour man Amobi, please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for recognizing that I'm a Labour man. Mr. Speaker and my honorable colleagues, the House notes that tuberculosis is caused by bacterial infection called Mycobacterium tuberculosis that most often affects lungs, despite the fact that TB is curable and preventable. It kills more people than HIV and malaria, combined globally, and is the leading cause of death in Nigeria. It is associated with HIV/AIDS, undernutrition, non-communicable diseases, as well as stigma, discrimination, and other human rights abuses. The House notes that Nigeria currently ranks first in Africa and sixth in the world, accounting for about 4.6% of global TB burden. According to World Health Organization, about 11 million people get infected with tuberculosis, and 1.8 million die each year from the disease, making it the world's top infectious disease killer. The House is aware that significantly progress has been made in the fight against tuberculosis globally, resulting in the reduction of deaths by 38% and new cases by 23%, which is driven by an increase in tuberculosis case detection rates, with over 1 million more people being diagnosed in 2022 than 2017. according to WHO Global TB Report 2023. The House is worried that major gaps still exist, as almost a third of the people with TB still misses out on diagnosis each year, and just 1/3 of the people with TB being tested. In addition to vulnerable and marginalized population, with more than half of the children under the age of 5 and 3/4 of the children with more drugs and resistance, TB never been diagnosed and reported to national TB programs. The House is concerned that funding for TB is grossly inadequate, both locally and globally, and for an increase in the number of people being diagnosed and treated requires an increase in TB budget, especially for vital commodities. The House also aware that nearly 70% of countries supported by the Global Fund are projected to face deficits in their budget next year, with 10 countries alone facing a combined $600 million shortfall for 2025. The House also worried that the global disease split for Global Fund investment for the country grant to each of HIV, malaria, and tuberculosis has remained largely unchanged over the last decade, with the TB receiving approximately 18% of available funding compared with the 50% for HIV and 32% for malaria. The House also notes that on September 26, 2018, heads of states and governments from around the world, including Nigeria, met in New York at the United Nations high-level meeting on TB and agreed a set of commitments to end TB by 2030. And on September 22, 2023, the United Nations members states, include Nigeria, came together for a second United Nations high-level meeting on TB to review progress and agree on a new set of commitments to end TB by 2030. Mr. Speaker and my honorable colleagues, the House resolves to urge the federal government to, as a matter of urgency, to set up a private sector-driven trust fund that will mobilize funds for the TB response in Nigeria. 2, to urge the federal government to ensure that TB treatment service and basic TB diagnosis equipment are made available in all 774 local government areas of the country. And also to urge the Federal Ministry of Health, through the Global Fund Country Coordinating Mechanism, Nigeria, to advocate for immediate increase of global disease split to 35% in favor of TB. The House also resolved to urge the federal government to increase local funding for TB to ensure Nigeria abides by all the commitments towards ending TB by 2030. Finally, and not by the least, the House resolved to mandate the House Committee on HIV/AIDS, Tuberculosis, Leprosy, and Malaria Control to present a bill that will address the abuses of rights of those infected with TB. Thank you, Mr. Speaker and my honorable colleagues, for this wonderful opportunity. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Any seconder? Honorable Vincent? Yes, my plateau man.
Thank you, the People's Speaker. I still remain Honorable Ambassador Daniel Asama, a Labour Party member representing the people of Bassa, Jos North Federal Constituency, Mr. Speaker. I'm from Plateau State.
Thank you, my brother, even for that reason.
I rise to support the motion ably moved by my senior colleague. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah, welcome. So, is charity begins at home, IB? Supporting one label by the other, IB? Thank you. So let's put it question. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. There is have it. This motion is referred to the Committee on HIV, AIDS, and Tuberculosis for further legislative action.